Life Vibes. I'm your host, Breezey Clark, and today I have a special treat for y'all. I am in Iredell, Texas with my mom, Lynda, and she is going to be making cornbread this morning. She's been making cornbread for over 25 years now, and I have never actually made it myself. I've definitely enjoyed it for a long time, but today we decided that she's actually going to show me how to make it. We have a cornbread in the oven that is going to be ready in about 10 minutes, so we're going to see what the final product looks like, and we're also going to put one together today. We have everything set up here, and so my mom's going to kind of walk me through it and show me how to make her homemade cornbread with buttermilk. And let's look at what we have over here. Mom, okay.
Cornmeal and flour, sugar, salt, baking powder, and I use a buttermilk blend powder that enriches the cream that I put in, and then jalapenos to spice it up.
Okay, so buttermilk and jalapenos are your secret ingredients here.
Yes.
Okay, so what do we do first?
First, you're going to put your cornmeal and flour.
And how much is in that?
I use 1 1/4 cups of cornmeal, and then the other 3/4 is flour because it's more cake-like. That's the way the kids always liked it. Then I use 2 tablespoons of sugar.
2 tablespoons of sugar.
4 teaspoons of baking powder.
4 teaspoons of baking powder.
And 3/4 teaspoon salt.
Okay.
You put that in. You want all your dry ingredients in at one time. And then I use that buttermilk blend, which just enriches it.
So all the dry ingredients just go in at the same time.
And that's 4 tablespoons of that.
This is easy enough. I can't believe that I haven't ever made it before.
And then you just mix your ingredients so they're just going together.
So you're blending it with a whisk?
With a whisk, because that way it breaks up the clumps.
Makes it a lot smoother, the
Yeah.
technique. Okay.
Yes. And then you're going to put your eggs.
Do you beat the eggs, or you
No.
just put them in?
Just I crack
So we
them.
have 2 eggs here.
2 eggs.
2 eggs are going in with all of the dry ingredients, so everything's coming together.
Then you 1 cup of cream.
1 cup. What kind of cream is
Half
that?
and half.
Half and half. We use half and half here.
It's a rich one.
It's 1 cup, and that's okay. So that makes it richer and, of course, more hearty. And we like to eat hearty in the country, so 1 cup of half and half.
1/4 cup of just oil, like canola oil.
Canola oil. Okay.
And then I put a jalapeno for spice. Chopped. It's already chopped. And then
Chopped
you just put that
jalapeno.
in there. And then you just mix it all together.
Okay. So how are you mixing that? Carefully. It looks
Carefully, you don't want to beat it.
like. Okay.
You just want to get the ingredients blended.
So just kind of folding it in at first and just
making sure
mixing.
it's all wet. Ingredients blended and dry.
So 25 years of making cornbread, I would say this qualifies her as an expert. And to see the different styles of cornbread. In the South, that's a staple that people like to eat. For a lot of different occasions, or even just any time really, that cornbread, that you guys make cornbread often. How often would you say that you make cornbread?
Probably twice a week.
Twice a week cornbread gets made in this house. That's a lot of cornbread. Okay, so we've checked on our rising cornbread in the oven. It's actually being baked in a cast iron skillet.
That's the way the original.
That's the original
You can
way.
bake it in another dish, like a square.
So what's the difference with the cast iron
It
skillet?
just golden as it is. This is good.
It's just kind of, is it the weight of it?
It just cooks it different. Something about cast iron.
It's just something about it that it just cooks it differently, and it adds to that richness. And so the buttermilk makes it sweeter. Is that what it
It
does?
also enhances the flavor.
It
The
enhances
buttermilk.
flavor.
You can use milk, but I prefer I notice it has a little better flavor with the buttermilk.
So buttermilk makes it richer and just adds to the flavor. And so you would say that the taste of this one is kind of sweet and then spicy with the jalapeno.
Yes.
Okay, and that's how you like it.
That's how the kids liked it too.
Yeah, that's how we like it here. So we have it all mixed together. Everything is ready to go in the bowl, and do you let it sit for a minute? Or just let it
It can
blend?
sit for a few minutes, but and you get your dish ready and your oven preheated to 400. And get it in there in 20 minutes usually to the top browns and cracks, which is what is happening here.
So you check it periodically to
I
make
make
sure.
sure.
Now I don't cook that much, and so I have to check my food periodically to make sure I'm not burning it, and you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my mom likes to cook all the time. She's Italian, and lots of cooking goes on in this kitchen. Lots of homemade and homegrown. There's a garden out here that my dad has planted in for over 20 years now, mainly organic, you would say, because he really tries to do it authentic and all natural. And so there's also a grape vineyard and always tomato plants. There's always tomatoes. I've picked plenty of tomatoes out there in my life. And you actually use the homegrown tomatoes to make homemade
Sauce.
spaghetti sauce and marinara
Salsa.
And so just with everything in the seasons and different flavors that you find, canning tomatoes, that's a big one.
You helped me once.
I helped once.
Big job.
I did. I wasn't. I remember not being happy about it, having to boil the lids and the bottles. But it is a process. And so growing vegetables and then bringing them in and having fresh green beans and jalapenos and asparagus, and there's been all kinds of vegetables grown in this garden. Digging potatoes. We have dug quite a few potatoes in our time. And then from drying peppers to, I don't even know, like your spices.
We dry our herbs.
Dry your own herbs.
And then you grind them up and then just put them in your spice bottles.
And so then you have it on your spice rack like you'd buy in a store, but you have your own. And so, so living in the country, you're about 30 miles from the nearest big grocery store, from H-E-B and Walmart. And so it's ideal that, of course, when you go to the grocery store, you're going to stock up on everything. But to have something that you may need just within arm's reach, or to like put it together yourself, that is kind of part of living in the country.
Yes.
But you prefer that because then it's fresh. It's fresh. We want it to be as fresh as possible out here. And so not only are there fresh spices on the shelves here, we actually have farm fresh eggs from Lynda Phillips. She raises her own chickens here in Iredell, and she shares her eggs because they have so many. And so in this buttermilk cornbread, not only do we have jalapenos fresh from the garden, we also have farm fresh eggs. So this is really special. There's a lot more to it than just going, because if I were to be making cornbread, I would be at the grocery store buying all of the ingredients. And here it's authentic, and it's all, for the most part, it's all just from right here out in the country. So on that note, let's go ahead and get I don't know if I should attempt to do it or not, putting the cornbread in a pan. Since I'm learning how, maybe I should. Maybe I should
I just use a spatula because you get it all that way.
Okay.
You don't want to miss any of it.
Alright, watch me now though if I'm not doing this right. So should I bring this over?
Yes.
Oh gosh, okay.
Just give it like you would your cake.
Well, Mom, I don't make that many cakes.
Now it's thickened a little because it sat for a little bit. That's okay.
The texture's different.
It's okay.
You can see. Is that because of the buttermilk, or is it just from sitting?
It's sitting. It's sitting, but it's okay.
Okay. I'm not moving
You're doing good.
very fast here. Okay.
It's smooth.
It's smooth. Is that good?
Yes.
Is that enough? Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Alright, so I'm smoothing it out in this pan. And what is this pan? What is this made out of here?
This is Brad and Allison gave it to us one year for Christmas. It's like a stone type of bakeware, which I
And it's
really
heavy.
like.
It's very heavy.
Yes, and it cleans up easily. Usually, you just put a little bit of Pam in the pan.
Oh, and we had
sprayed
sprayed the pan with Pam. You got to make sure it's not going to stick. You don't want your cornbread to stick. I do know that. I don't know how to make it, but I do know how to cut it. Okay, and so what makes this special that we're going to cook this in this stove? Because we have a cast iron skillet, now we have
It
a
cooks
stone
it evenly and usually browns it good. I really enjoy using this. It's lighter than the cast iron for me. Yeah.
Oh, and on that note, here comes our cornbread.
Here it goes.
Fresh from the oven in the cast iron skillet. And look at that. It's golden brown on top, and it's cracked just a little bit around the edges, and that's how you want
That's
it.
it. As long as it's going to come out of the pan.
And then we're going to move it over here to the cooling rack. We're going to set it here to cool. Oh, are you going to go ahead and take it out of the pan? We're going to let it set for a minute, and then.
Put that one in the
Oh,
oven.
and then this needs to go in the oven, of course.
For 20 minutes.
For 20 minutes.
Yes.
The oven is preset to 400 degrees, and you can definitely feel it when you open the door.
20 minutes.
And I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes. Okay, and then you set the timer for 20 minutes, and we will see how this one turns out in the stone pan. But now that we're moving over here to the cast iron skillet, that it's cooled just enough, would you say?
I'd say it should, hopefully it's going to just pop out.
So you're putting the cooling wire rack, gosh, like a pro.
Well,
She did that so quick I couldn't even quite describe exactly how that was done, but obviously after 25 years in the practice that you know what you're doing. I don't know if mine would have come out that well. I'm glad that you did it. And so you just flip it over.
I'm going to put it on a plate. Yeah, but it's on a cooling rack. But what I'll do is usually, because we're going to be eating, I just turn it on a plate and then we cut it warm butter.
Okay, so you want it hot.
Or
I mean, it's just nice.
You can eat it cold and crumble it and put milk on it if you want later. But when I serve it for dinner, it's warm and the butter melts on it. It's rich and good.
So there's a lot of different ways that you can eat cornbread, as we all know, and I've definitely enjoyed my share of it in my time. And so I'm going to have a little sample. I'm going to taste the sweet. It is. I don't know that I've had this one, or at least not recently, but I don't know that I've had the sweet and spicy cornbread that they've been making here recently. So I'm going to try it out. Can we use this knife right here to sample it?
Yes.
You got to get the butter out of the fridge. You got to have butter. Now, what kind of butter do you use?
Well, it's a yogurt butter. It's a blend, but it's very good. It's a lot healthier for you. But
It's a lot better than just regular butter.
I also use regular butter at times too.
Okay, and so I'm just going to cut off a
Cut your
little.
corner.
I'm just going to cut off a corner just to sample it.
It's very hot.
It's
hot and it's
steaming
but it's
hot.
good. It's good that way. And then, because the butter melts, and then you can see the jalapenos in there.
Okay, and I'm just going to put a little dab of butter on both, and we can both have a little corner here just to try it. I'm not doing a very good job here. You can tell that I'm not as comfortable in the kitchen.
It's good.
Okay, so we've got a little dab of butter on the corner of our cornbread. Thank you, Mom, for making this for us today. Okay, you can taste it right away, the sweet and the spice. It is very hot. And I will say that the yogurt butter, it does add a little bit of something to it. So this is my mom's cornbread. I'm coming to you from her kitchen, and she, like I said, she has been making cornbread for many years now. This is just one of her many specialties on the menu. Thank you for watching today, and thank you, Mom, for being here. Live Vibes is a product of Texan News Service. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And until next time, keep the good vibes rolling.